How do you install Git-Filter-Repo? I'm attempting to use Git-Filter-Repo to remove large binaries from my repository. I have not used Python before. I installed the latest Python by clicking on the downloaded.exe file, as that is a requirement of Git-Filter-Repo. The instructions say, Git-Filter-Repo is a single-file Python script, which was done to make installation for basic use trivial. Just copy it into your $path. This URL. I have tried opening the git-filter-repo.py with the Python application. I also can't use cd, ls, or dir in the Python application.
This is how I got it to work. Python should be installed and added to the system's path. Git should be installed and Git also added to the system's path. Download Git-Filter-Repo. Replace Python 3 on first line of file called Git-Filter-Repo with Python. Depending on your Python installation, you may skip this step. Call git exec path. Move the Git-Filter-Repo file into that location shown. Git's path. To use, type Git-Filter-Repo. The help option will not work, but they have documentation online.
Pip install. They now have a Python package that just works. That method installs both the command line executable and the Python library, which you can use as shown here. The executable is named Git-Filter-Repo, and Git automatically picks up any executable in path with name Git** on calls like Git**, which is how this works. Ubuntu 23.04. On this Ubuntu version or the one before, Ubuntu started adding the supremely annoying, but somewhat understandable, error, externally managed environment message to any pip install. Thankfully they have a Debian package for this one, so you can. Alternatively, you can also override the error or use a virtual environment, or the new pips thing, this URL. Which places the executable at tilde.local urbin Git-Filter-Repo. I just don't understand why pip stopped working with a good old user. Why do they keep changing the interface every 2 years? Manual install. If for some reason you don't want to use pip, you can also just tested on Ubuntu 20.04, Git-Filter-Repo AC039X095D.
On a Mac, I simply downloaded this URL into my /local/bin, which was already on my path and where I keep all my batch files, etc. After chmod plus x git-filter-repo, I just ran it from my repo dir like git-filter-repo pathminder.
On a Mac, you can install it using Homebrew. $brew install Git-Filter-Repo.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.